Jose, okay. Jose. Okay, so now you have made it to Tour Creator. So Tour Creator is the exact same as My Maps and Tour Builder, except Tour Creator uses, just like it says here, it makes it easy to build immersive 360 tours. So if you have your own 360 video, you can build your own tour of things. For example, if we have 360 cameras for the school in a classroom, we could walk around the school and 360 video all of that and then bring it into Tour Creator and tell a story that way. Or we can do it this way and use Google Maps and stuff. You can see now when you get in here, you can see your tours. They do have templates, and pretty much I'll just walk you through making the beginning of a tour, and you can see if you like this one or not. So you can see I was practicing. So here we just click make a tour, and we can select an image for the tour. So I will just find my lovely picture there and open it. I can put a description of Moat Test 2. Hello, and create my tour. It gives you some little blurbs there. So now you are into Tour Creator. Okay, so you can add a scene or you can upload. I'm not going to go into uploading right now. That's a whole different ball of wax, but if you have some 360 video, you can do it. So if I add a scene is like a stop on the tour. So I'm just going to start out the same way I have before. Let me move this all the way up here. I'll just come with the back button. So this is Crazy Horse. And hold on. So I'm adding a scene right now. Oh, I messed up. Let me go to this one again. So I went here, and if you noticed, I had everything, and then I said add a scene, and I didn't search a place. So I would say Crazy Horse. Oops. And it's going to take me to Crazy Horse Memorial, and that's not what I want. So I could put in Memorial, and there we go. I'll go to the Crazy Horse Memorial. I like that picture, so I can add that to the scene. So now what I can do, now I can do this, and I can go to and call it Crazy Horse. Okay, so now there's differences. I can put in a description. I can give credit to when credit is due. I can add background music if I wanted to add, say, birds or whatever. I can also add narration. So I can select, I can record and record myself and then drop in audio files to my recording from right when you get here. You can also, and here's where it gets neat, is so I can drop in a point of interest. Here's this point of interest. So now if I drag it, oops, there it is right there. If I want to drag it over to Crazy Horse himself, I can put it up there so I don't disturb the picture. Now I can do a description of this point of interest in 300 characters, give it an add images if I wanted to, so I can just go to images and talk about the progression. Let's say I wanted to see the progression of Crazy Horse. I have to have them in my Dropbox here or my computer, so I'd have to download them. Or I can add narration again, so I could talk about that. Then if I wanted to add another point of interest, I could do this, and I could talk about the cliff over here, and so on. So I can go through and take, and if you look around, I can take and make a tour of this whole image, so people can look around, and then they could click on these different things and get a little blurb in 300 characters and some images and some narration potentially. Then when I'm ready to go to the next one, because let's say Mount Rushmore is next, I will go to Mount Rushmore, like so. There's Mount Rushmore's National. Now what I can do is I can draw myself. That's not the right place. I want to be looking at Mount Rushmore like that. So now I can say add that to scene. And so now I'm stuck in Mount Rushmore like that, and you can see the images there. And whoopsies, like so. It's going a little herky-jerky on me there. We can zoom in and zoom out. You might want to try to find better pictures, but you could say this is Mount Rushmore. That's the scene name, and if you notice, you can always edit things and move the scenes in the order you want them in, because it's going to be connected, a linear order again. We can describe it, we can do this, and we can add songs or whatever we want, add narration, and we can add images and a point of interest. So I could put a point of interest above each president, and then I could say, this is George Washington. And then I could go through, or I could narrate about him. So when people click on that, they would hear the narration of George Washington was the first president. He did this, he did that, Valley Forge, blah, blah, blah. And then we could go on to another scene in another place. And if you wanted to, you could slowly walk in progression through things, or you could jump around from place to place to place. It's how you want to do it, but it's a very linear progression. And then when you're done, you get to this whole publish thing. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's using Tour. I get these all messed up. Tour Creator, not Tour Builder. And if you notice, it is true 360. So you're going to put on it. You can view it this way. You could view it with a tablet and move the tablet around, or you can put on VR goggles of some kind, and you would be able to look around, and it would be like you were there. So you could really build a VR experience, or have students build VR experiences, more being that 4Cs, the creation aspect, have them build a VR experience about a scene in a book, a thing in history, and then you could have, I can't remember what I was, an event in history. God, that was hard. An event in history, what happened, and then you could have somebody else build the next event in history, and you could put them all together, and they could all work on different scenes. I mean, there's lots of opportunity here for creation and critical thinking, and what information you can get in there in 300 characters, and get it in with narration and images. So a lot of choices here. Just trying to give you best guesses, or not best guesses, but your options, and you can pick one, or you can pick multiple. If you like them all, learn them all. All right.